In 2008, the Marvel Cinematic Universe took off when Robert Downey Jr. suited up for Iron Man. And now, over 20 movies and a ton of box office money later, the world just can't seem to get enough of the MCU, as each release now feels like a major event that gets moviegoers excited and talking in anticipation for what the next Marvel movie might bring. For over 10 years now, fans have been enjoying watching the adventures of superheroes such as Thor, Hulk, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Captain America, and Black Widow, as each entry in the franchise has built the MCU into an unstoppable cinematic force to be reckoned with. Not only has the MCU done a lot for superhero movies, but movies in general, as it shows that now not only can movie franchises be made up of sequels and spin-offs, but also entire movie universes. And thus, the cinematic universe seems to be the way of franchise movies. So today we are going to look into 10 things that you probably didn't know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, let's check it out. Number 10. It originally wasn't a Disney product. Although these days Marvel is well known for its ties to the Walt Disney Company, originally the film series started off as a Paramount Pictures product. Yes, long before the days of Black Panther, Ant-Man, and Thanos, when fans saw a Marvel movie, they were greeted with the mountain of Ben Lomond and the Paramount Pictures logo, with the exception of The Incredible Hulk, which was distributed by Universal Pictures. Disney bought the rights of the Marvel Studios on December 31st, 2009, with Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America the First Avenger being released under the Paramount logo. Even though the Avengers and Iron Man 3 were released with Disney, they still had the Paramount logo at the start of the features, suggesting that these two movies were originally Paramount productions. But from Thor: The Dark World onwards, the MCU has been at the hands of the Big Mouse himself. To which we can only wonder how much Paramount Pictures regrets selling Marvel movies now. Number 9. Avengers alternative title. In 2012, comic book fans finally got to see some of their favourite comic book characters on the screen together for the first time in the first Avengers movie. The movie was simply titled The Avengers, and saw some of Marvel's finest taking on a heap of trans-dimensional monsters and Loki. However, in the UK, the movie was titled Avengers Assemble, as opposed to everywhere else in which the movie was simply called Avengers. This is due to the fact that in the UK there was concerns that people may get Avengers confused with the popular 1960s British TV show, also called The Avengers. Or worse yet, its 1998 cinematic remake. Ugh. So to save confusion, it was called Avengers Assemble, but considering how big the Marvel Avengers brand now is, it all seems kinda silly, but hey, it was 2012. Number 8. Instagram casting. In 2015, Disney cut a deal with Sony Pictures, so everyone's favourite web-slinger Spider-Man could be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as star in his own movies, which would be produced by both Marvel and Sony. So the search was on to find the next Peter Parker and his superhero alter ego Spider-Man. Several young actors auditioned for the part, one of them being Tom Holland. However, it seems that everyone found out Holland was the new Spider-Man before Holland himself did, as he explained on The Ellen Show that he found out he was cast via an announcement on a Marvel Instagram post. So, one Instagram post later and Holland's life had completely changed. I guess someone in head office forgot to tell him. Number 7. Rejected characters and castings. There have been several possibilities and alternative directions that the MCU could have gone in, some of them being well known, whereas others aren't too well known. For example, the original Avengers lineup, which consisted of Iron Man, Captain America, Hawkeye, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow. Well, according to director Joss Whedon, the lineup at one stage was not going to feature Black Widow but the Wasp instead, who finally entered the MCU in Ant-Man in 2015. Also at one stage, the Avengers were to take on Ezkiel Stan, son of the original Iron Man villain Obadiah Stan, played by Jeff Bridges. But thus far, the superhero team have yet to battle the troubled sun. Stan Lee originally wanted to play Odin in Thor, which would have been awesome. Gal Gadot auditioned for the role of Nebula for Guardians of the Galaxy, but lost to former Doctor Who companion Karen Gillan. But it's not all bad, as later that year Gadot ended up being cast as Wonder Woman. It is popular theory that Tom Cruise was originally considered for the role of Iron Man. The MCU has even had several recasts, most notably the character Rhodes, who was played by Terrence Howard in Iron Man, only to be recast with Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2, where he continues to play the part. And the Incredible Hulk was originally portrayed by Edward Norton in 2008 in the Incredible Hulk movie, but the part was then recast with Mark Ruffalo in The Avengers, who is also still playing the part. Also, oddly enough, fans have noticed that in certain screenshots of the battle with Thanos in Wakanda in Infinity War, the Hulk seems to be in the battle, when in the actual movie, Banner is wearing the Hulk Iron Man battle armor. But hey, that could have just been a promotional thing. Number 6, highest grossing franchise of all time. The MCU's net worth is $17.3 billion, making it outshine other big franchises, such as James Bond, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Transformers. Marvel has become such a force to be reckoned with. Other movie studios now change movie release dates as not to coincide with the release of the next Marvel movie. One other franchise though did go on a head-to-head battle for cinematic glory against the MCU, and that being the DCU, in which Batman v Superman had a very close release to Captain America Civil War, in which both movies would see beloved superheroes fighting against each other, to which Batman v Superman made $873 million, which is fairly impressive, but no match for Civil War's $1.153 billion. Number 5, Robert Downey Jr. only wore the Iron Man suit once.
Girl, you got me thirsty.
Despite the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is an accomplished actor who has been around since the 80s, with many memorable film roles in films such as Weird Science and Chaplin, in modern days the actor is instantly associated to that of Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, as he totally owns the part and plays the character down to a T. However, something that some people may find surprising is how often the star doesn't wear the Iron Man suit. In fact, he doesn't even wear it at all. Okay, he actually did wear the Iron Man suit for reals in the first Iron Man movie, but it became apparent that after that film, thanks to VFX technology, it wasn't necessary for the actor to wear the suit anymore, and due to special effects, the actor can still seemingly perform in the Iron Man suit without, well, actually wearing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, he still often does wear parts of the suit, but apparently the first Iron Man is the first and only time he wore the armour in its entirety. Number 4, Easter eggs. Over the years, there have been plenty of Easter eggs placed in Marvel movies, whether it be winks and nods to other movies or even other Marvel movies. Everyone knows about Captain America's shield in the background of Iron Man 2. But what about other subtle surprises put throughout the series? Well, here are just a couple. In Iron Man 2, a young boy is seen wearing a toy Iron Man helmet. It has since been confirmed that the little boy was indeed a young Peter Parker. Captain America's shield can be seen frozen in ice in a background scene in the Incredible Hulk movie. The yellow jet blasters in Ant-Man are from the same sound effects used for the AT-ATs in The Empire Strikes Back. And in Captain America the First Avenger, one scene sees the villain Red Skull claim that the Führer was digging for trinkets in the desert. An obvious wink and nudge to the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, Indiana Jones is officially part of the MCU. Cool. Number 3, a deleted scene explains a dark Hulk subplot. In The Avengers, there is a scene where Bruce Banner explains that he once attempted suicide in order to rid himself of the Hulk curse once and for all, in order to show the audience his true tragedy, and how Banner at times wants to rid himself of the Green Beast. Even though we have never seen Banner attempt to take his own life, the comment is referring to a deleted scene from 2008's Incredible Hulk, in which Banner put a loaded gun to his head but wasn't able to go through. Yeah, without a doubt the scene probably would have been a little too dark for a family superhero movie. So instead of killing himself, we can only imagine that instead Banner decided to get plastic surgery to make him go from looking like Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo. Number 2, Benedict Cumberbatch is both hero and villain. In 2016, Doctor Strange came out starring the legendary Benedict Cumberbatch in the iconic role of Doctor Strange, in a movie that took the MCU into a new domain of magic and illusion. And although it's a well-known fact that Cumberbatch plays Doctor Strange, he surprisingly also played the part of the movie's villain, Dormammu. Well, technically he voiced the beast monster. Thanks to sound effects being added to the voice, viewers may have missed the fact that Dormammu and Doctor Strange actually share the same voice, creating a rare situation where an actor in a superhero movie plays both the hero and villain. Who knew that the whole time Doctor Strange actually came to bargain with himself? Number 1, the epic week of Marvel. One thing fans of the MCU like to do is place the adventures in chronological order, as we now know that the Marvel tale started off with Captain America the First Avenger, now followed by Captain Marvel. However, at one stage there was an issue with the chronological order of the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2 and Thor. So Marvel's simple solution to this issue was by claiming the events of these 3 movies all take place within the same week. Yeah, one hell of a week that must have been. I mean, what with all the commotion going on, you can only imagine how all the news networks would have been going insane with all the crazy shit happening that week. But truth be told, I kinda like the idea of watching one of these movies, and while watching, knowing that the events of other movies in the series are happening simultaneously. I don't know, I just find that a lot of fun. In fact, going out of chronological order seems to be commonplace with the MCU, as Thor Ragnarok takes place during the events of Civil War, despite coming out 3 movies later, and Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place just before the events of Infinity War, despite being the next movie in the franchise. For better or for worse, the MCU has given cinema the phenomenon that is cinematic universes. Although cinematic universes have been attempted in the past, Marvel has perfected the craft. But above all, there is lots of joy with Marvel movies. They are lots of fun, but also have lots of heart, and show no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Anyway, I'm Minty, and Stan Lee was the man. See ya!